Poppy makes a Beauty and the Beast inspired rose. Hey there, and welcome, or maybe even welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you something Beauty and the Beast inspired. You may have already seen I've posted something new on my blog. I've posted a maze, and of course also Beauty and the Beast inspired. If you haven't seen the maze yet, if you haven't downloaded it yet, please go to my blog. The direct link is down below in the description box. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. It is free and I would love to have you. So today I'm going to show you how to make a rose, a felt rose like Beauty and the Beast, under a glass bell. So these are the things you'll need. A cutting mat or something else to protect the surface you're working on, and of course the free printable rose pattern, which you can download on my blog, and I will also put a direct link to the printable down below in the description box. Felt in two colors, green and red, wire, rose petals, a wooden disc, a glass bell, a pair of scissors. I prefer to work with small scissors, a pen or pencil, a hole puncher, a plier and a cutter, and a glue gun. Okay, so have you gathered all the crafting supplies you need? Yes? Good. And if you are just as excited as I am, please give this video a big thumbs up, and now I will show you the first thing you'll need to do. The first thing you'll need to do is grab the printable, which you can download for free on my blog. I have put a direct link to the printable down below in the description box. It is very easy to download and print, so don't worry, it is in PDF format, so it's super easy. So you'll need to download and print out the printable and cut out the printable. So this is going to be the rose, and these are going to be the green leaves. So I already cut out my printable. This is it. This is going to be the rose. And this one is going to be the green leaves. So we'll need to trace these onto the green and red pieces of felt. So the rose onto the red and the leaves onto the green. Just take a pen or pencil and trace it onto the felt. Okay, so that is the rose. I am just going to put it aside for now, and I'm going to continue tracing the leaves onto the green felt. Don't forget to trace these twice. You may have noticed that these leaves are actually the same ones I've used in the Poppy inspired headband video tutorial. If you haven't seen that video tutorial yet, I'll put it here in the info box. So once you've traced both the rose and the leaves, you'll need to cut them out of the felt. As I do a lot, I'm using small scissors because they are just easier to handle, because this pattern also has a lot of curves, and if you have smaller scissors, well, smaller blades, I mean, it is easier to make these curves. I'm just going to use the larger pair of scissors to roughly cut out the pattern, and then I'm going to continue cutting with the smaller pair of scissors to cut out the rose and the leaves. I don't need the rest of the red felt anymore, so I'm just going to put that away for now. Now I'm just going to cut out the rose over the trace line like so. Well, actually more inside the pattern, so you won't end up, well, I've got a little bit of pen here, but that doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to not to get too much pen on the inside of the rose, so you won't end up with ugly pen striped lines on your rose. Okay, so that is the rose. These scraps I'm just gonna toss away. Just gonna put this aside and over to the leaves. Also, I'm gonna cut this with the larger pair of scissors first, and then I'm going to cut them out with a smaller pair of scissors. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it aside for now. You will be using the green felt later, so don't put it anywhere you can reach it. Well, anyways, we're going to use it for the stem later. And again, if you are using a pen, please try to cut inside the lines rather than on the line, so you won't end up like with a inky felt leaf. So now I'm going to make little holes in the center of the leaves. And I'm going to use my hole puncher. Don't worry if you don't have a hole puncher. You could also just cut a small hole in the center of your leaf. If you just fold it double and make a small cut with your scissors, you will also have a small hole in the center of your leaves. But I'm going to use my hole puncher because I think that is way easier and more neat. I've put it on the smallest setting because it's only for the wire, so you can put the wire through the hole. So it doesn't need to be a really large hole. If it is a bit out of center, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't need to be that perfect. You can just eyeball it a little bit. Just push out the round felt, and there I have my small hole in the center of my leaves. Just going to do the same with the other. Okay, so these two are done for now. I'm now going to grab my glue gun. If you have never used a glue gun, or if you're not allowed to use a glue gun, please ask an adult to help you, because they do tend to get very warm and you might get glue on your hands and you just burn your hands. And you may have seen that I did that with my last video, and that really hurts, guys. So please be careful with a glue gun. I am also going to place my cutting mat here to protect the surface I'm working on. Okay, so just grab my glue gun, which has a little bit of glue left, so I'm also grabbing a glue stick and just plug it in. And now I'm going to wait until my glue gun gets warm enough. In the meantime, I'm just gonna grab the wire. It's quite a thick wire, as you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue the wire onto the rose, and then we're going to roll it up until it sort of looks like this one. So this was just something I tried out. This is kind of what we're aiming for. It is orange because I was just working with scraps to try it out and stuff. So it's not exactly what we're aiming for because we want a red rose, but it's gonna look sort of like this one. So now I'm just going to wait until my glue gun gets warm enough. Okay, so I actually wanted to do this later, but I think it might be easier if we do this now. So I'm just gonna put this aside until my glue gun gets warm enough. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cut the wire to size now before we're going to glue the rose on top. So it is a bit easier to cut it to size than when the rose is already glued on. Just take your glass bell. It doesn't matter if it's big or small or what the size is. That doesn't really matter. Just grab your wire and your glass bell and eyeball what kind of measurement you'll need. I'm thinking about this and just a bit longer because we're also going to make a foot. So don't make it that long that it will reach the whole bell. Just a bit shorter, but a bit longer than you want it to be because we're making a foot so the rose will stand up. Take my pliers now. I'm just going to cut it to size. And just check again to make sure that the wire will fit your glass bell. So I quickly just grabbed a small piece of tape and I'm gonna measure again the piece of wire, and I'm gonna place the piece of tape on the spot where I want the cut to be. Just gonna grab my pliers. These are actually 2-in-1 because a plier and a cutter here, as you can see. And just gonna cut in alongside the tape. And there I have cut my piece of wire to size. And I think my glue gun is warm enough now. I'm just gonna place a small dot of glue to test if it's warm enough. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Take your felt rose and lay it flat and start on the largest petal. And first we're going to glue a small dot of glue right here and attach the piece of wire like so. So a small dot of glue just here, and try to get rid of any glue strings by twirling it around the glue dot. And now just glue the piece of wire onto the felt right here. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit so you can see it better. So now we're gonna roll up the piece of felt with the wire in the middle. So we're just gonna glue around the edge of the felt and roll up the flower. And I'm gonna place another glue stick in. It doesn't need it yet, so I'm good for now. Try to get rid of the glue string. If you are really having trouble with the glue strings, you could also just cut them away, but please be careful because they are warm. Now roll up your flower like so. It doesn't need to be rolled up too tight though. And continue gluing and rolling your flower. I'm just going to do it bit by bit so the glue won't dry out. And also a bit here so the last petal will attach itself to the rose. And there we have a rose. Looks cool already, huh? I'm just gonna gently press the rose, and I'm going to add some extra glue on the bottom so the rose will hold its shape. It doesn't matter if it's a bit messy or not because we're gonna cover it up with the leaves. So just gonna place it upside down for now, so the glue won't drip all the way down the wire. Now I'm going to add the leaves. I'm just going to add a bit of glue around the hole in the center of the leaf, like so. And then I'm going to add the leaf onto the wire and gently press the leaves up against the rose. I'm now going to add small dots of glue onto the leaves, and then I'm going to push them up against the rose. Just use a small dot of glue, push it up the rose, be careful though, get rid of any of the glue strings, and just hold it a bit so it will stay in place. Do the same with the other leaves. Just push them up the rose so they will hold its shape. And see, it is so easy to get all these glue strings if you just used a bit too much glue. And of course now I've got glue strings all over, so I'm just quickly going to cut these away. I'm now going to add the other pair of leaves. Again, I'm placing a little bit of glue in the center around the hole. And I'm not gonna place these leaves in the same way as the others. I actually want them to end up like here between the spaces of the other leaves. just a bit of glue. Also with this one, I'm going to add small dots of glue onto the leaves and press them up against the rose so it will stick to the side of the rose. And the last one. And there you go, that is the rose. I'm now going to show you how to make the foot of the rose. Just take your pliers, and with the pliers, take the end of the wire and bend the wire towards the wire, so make a rounded shape. Oops, sorry, here you see it better. A small round shape. This is what it should look like. So bend it towards the wire. You'll now need to take this between your pliers and fold it to make a foot so the rose will stand up like so. So the thing I want you to do next is cover this part. It depends on how long or how tall your glass bell is or how long your rose stem is on what size and shape piece of felt you will need. So just measure it and take your green felt. I'm just going to eyeball it a bit. It doesn't really need to be that thin because there are going to be leaves that are going to cover the end. So measure about how long your green piece of felt should be and don't make it too wide, probably not more than a centimeter or so. Then you'll need to add glue to this green piece of felt alongside the edge of the felt. And again, we're going to roll it up. So take the rose, take the wire, and press the wire into the glue. Be careful because the glue is hot. Now fold the felt. Be careful, the glue might be pouring out, and of course it got onto my fingers again. So seriously, be careful, this always happens to me. Then I'm going to roll it up, and with the glue gun, I'm adding some glue to close the felt. And there you go, and there you have your rose. Now the rose needs to go onto the wooden disc. Just gonna zoom the camera out so you will see better. So I've got my wooden disc and I want to place my rose like so. You might want to take the glass bell first to cover the rose so you can measure it a bit, so you might want to bend the rose a bit. And again, take your glue gun and add a good dollop of glue in the center of the wooden disc. Don't worry about the glue, it can get a bit messy, it doesn't really matter, we'll cover that up later. Don't worry about that. Place the rose in the center, hold it for a bit and add some more glue if you feel like that is necessary and let it harden. Keep adding glue if it's necessary. You will feel if the rose will stand or maybe it's gonna fall a bit. If you feel like the rose is falling, just add some more glue. Don't worry, we'll cover it up later. Yay! It's standing up on its own! I'm now going to grab my rose petals and carefully place a few on the bottom of the stem onto the glue. I just bought these at a crafting store. You could, if you want to, make them yourself, but I saw these and they are so easy, so I just thought, why should I bother making them myself when I have these pre-made ones, which look oh so pretty just the same. I'm just adding a small dot of glue to the rose petal because the glue might be already a bit dry on the bottom of the stem, so just add a small dot of glue to a rose petal and glue it onto the bottom to cover the glue. And the last rose petal. Okay, maybe just one more. So now I can put this all to the side. I don't need my glue gun or my cutting mat anymore. Now the rose is almost done. I'm just going to grab my glass bell and cover the rose and maybe make some few more last adjustments if necessary. Maybe just bend it in a little so it will make a more natural shape, or to make it fit your glass bell better. Doesn't it look cool, guys? I think it looks so super cool. I am so happy with this rose. Just a few more bends to make it a bit more organic, I think, would make it perfect. And this is really it. This is the end result. I am so happy with it. I think it looks so super cool. So please guys, don't forget to download the free printable rose pattern. It is on my blog. It is completely free and it is super easy to download and print. It is in PDF format. You will find all the direct links to my blog and to this printable down below in the description box. And also, if you haven't downloaded the Beauty and the Beast inspired maze yet, please go to my blog and download the free printable. Let me know what you think and if I should make more mazes in the future. Just let me know on any of my social media like Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. All the direct links are down below in the description box. And for now, have fun making your own Beauty and the Beast inspired rose. For more ideas and free printables, please visit my blog puppymakesdiy.blogspot.com. If you have any ideas or requests on what I should make or bake next time, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. Click here to watch any of my other videos or to subscribe to my channel so you'll never miss a thing. Thanks for watching and see you next time!